What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome. So a while ago I actually watched this video from Brainy and she was talking about how to not feel like an imposter. And that's actually the first time that I actually heard about the term imposter syndrome. I've heard people mention it, but I never bothered to find out what it was. So when I did, I found that there's just so much of it that I have felt, but I wasn't really sure if I could say that I had it, because some parts of it I agreed with and some I did not. Instead of just talking about how I feel like that, I think what I will address is how to overcome it. So I'm actually on impostersyndrome.com right now, and it has this article that says 10 steps you can use to overcome imposter syndrome. So I'm not gonna read all of it. The only way to stop feeling like an imposter is to stop thinking like an imposter. Alright, so this is based on a TED talk that the author of this article wrote. It says, break the silence. Shame keeps a lot of people from facing up about their fraudulent feelings. Knowing there's a name to these feelings and that you're not alone can be tremendously freeing. I mean, maybe, because I feel like a lot of my life I had to be amazing at everything, and it's hard for me to kind of like ask for help or not know something. Like, I feel like I have to know what's going on. But I think lately I've kind of limited that list to only wanting to know about things I care about. So I think in a way it has kind of resolved itself. Separate feelings from fact. There are times when you feel stupid. It happens to everyone from time to time. Realize just because you may feel like that, it doesn't mean that you are. I don't think in my life I've ever felt stupid, ever. I have felt like I'm in the wrong room. Maybe that's a synonym. But I think if I feel like that, that means that I didn't want to be there, not because I feel like I know less. So I think if I was in a room with smarter people, I feel like I would listen to them because of the fact that I want to understand and, you know, be part of the conversation. But I think that if I'm in a room of people where I'm forced to be there and I don't know what they're talking about, I think that might make me feel some type of way, but I wouldn't be so hard on myself. And it says number 3, recognize when you should feel fraudulent. Instead of taking your self-doubt as a sign of your ineptness, recognize that it might be a normal response to being an outsider. Then number 4, it says accentuate the positive. Perfectionism can indicate a healthy drive to excel, which is true. There's nothing wrong with wanting to know how something works and wanting to know how to work it well. I think all I'm doing now is just exposing that I actually do suffer from imposter syndrome. The trick is not to obsess over everything being just so. Certain things do drive me crazy, like they just do. At the top of my head, the way our country is dealing with gender-based violence, like it just drives me nuts. The way that we're dealing with education, pollution, the fact that entrepreneurship is not in schools, the fact that we don't have school psychologists. ESCOM, when is that gonna start rolling again? The fact that people can be in grade 6 and 7 and not be able to read drives me nuts. Like, get that child away from me. Well, either you get them away from me or you bring them to me with a book because they're gonna be reading. Can't deal. The way people behave in relationships nowadays. Is any relationship safe? People are just intentionally trying to hurt other people. What happened to a safe, like what happened? Do a great job when it matters most, without persevering over routine tasks. I mean, would it kill people to be on time for things? I mean, like, it's a basic. It's a basic. Like, just be punctual. Like, I just don't. It's a routine thing, meaning, okay, forgive yourself when the inevitable mistake happens. Whew. Okay, let's move on. Number 5, develop a new response to failure and mistake making. Oh my That is exactly what I'm trying to do now. Really not easy. It's just not. Henry Ford once said, failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. I must not be doing that because I've begun again many times, but it still fails. So I think I'm not doing it intelligently. I don't know. Instead of beating yourself up for being human and blowing the big project, do what professional athletes do and glean the learning value from the mistake and move on. Okay. Number 6, write the rules. If you've been operating under misguided rules like I should always know the answer or never ask for help, start asserting your rights. Recognize that now you have just as much right as the next person to be wrong. Have an off day or ask for assistance. I mean, how do you get anything done if you have to ask for help all the time? Like, it just does. Okay. And let's be honest, people are not exactly queuing up to be helpful. That's the other thing. They would just rather watch you stumble all over yourself. Like, I'm not coping. Develop a new script. Your script is that automatic mental tapes that start playing in the situations that trigger your imposter feelings. Yeah. When you start a new project, instead of thinking, wait till they find out I have no idea what I'm doing, try thinking, everyone who starts something new feels off base in the beginning. I may not know all the answers, but I'm smart enough to find them out. You know what? I'm actually starting to do that lately. Visualize success. Do what a professional athlete. What is this person's obsession with this? Spend time beforehand picturing yourself making a successful presentation or calmly posing your questions in class. Because I grew up with quite a fear of public speaking, I have to prepare myself thoroughly before I can speak in public, because lots of nightmares in my past there. But it has helped me to be extra prepared, I would say, more than the average person, because there is nothing worse than hearing someone go on and on about something they clearly know nothing about, just so that they can hear themselves talk. Like, it's just so stupid. Reward yourself and then fake it till you make it. That is so true. I truly believe in this now. Thank you, Valerie Compile. She's the author. So yeah, like, I think, wow, she did a good job. I think that imposter syndrome, from what I've read, is not the best feeling in the world. It makes you, it's basically overthinker's lane, basically, and it just burdens you with all these internal thoughts that other people don't have. So the best way to do is to plan around it in order for you to be able to manage it better, especially in public or when you're dealing with other people. And I think that the only way to do that is to literally rewire yourself so that you can actually figure out what really matters to you personally. And you must also remember that if it matters to you, it doesn't necessarily have to matter to somebody else. So that's a wise thing to do. I think for me, people around me in my close circles, they will know what's really important to me. But I used to do that, but I won't necessarily expect them to follow suit. But for example, things like being punctual, really, is it too much to ask for? Oh my gosh. Let it go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, hit the thumbs up button, and also don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.